Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. If you search Yamal PSG on Twitter, all of these reports are going to be coming up. From Defense Central, PSG will be prepared to break the world transfer record with a bid of 230 million euros to sign 18-year-old Lamine Yamal from FC Barcelona. Breaking, PSG are prepared to break the world transfer record fee and pay 230 million euros to sign Lamine Yamal as per Defensa Central. The current world record stands at 222 million euros, which was also a move from Barcelona to PSG involving Neymar. But as you can see, Defensa Central once again being the source. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Oh, this is a really old one. Yeah, that we wanted, Yamal to replace Mbappe. Obviously, the fake stuff that came out from this stuff was that considering an offer and 200 million. But Paris Saint Germain have always had interest in Lamine Yamal. That is something we should, never lie about or something. So the interest has always been there, and now these reports from Defensa Central, obviously it just guesses. The biggest club in the world, Paris Saint Germain, want one of the biggest, if not the biggest talent in the world in Lamine Yamal. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So let me give my thoughts. First of all, we got to look profilistically. Paris Saint Germain have been looking for a left-footed right winger for a while. We wanted Franco Mastantuono, it didn't happen. We did want back in the day Mikael Olise, it didn't happen. And we did want Magnus Achiliosh. Could still happen, he's still on Monaco, but obviously the price tag they're asking for is a bit too much. So profilistically, Lamine Yamal is, exactly what Paris Saint Germain are looking for. A left-footed right winger, technical, can play make, can improve his scoring, and then can have that double fearlessness where he can play make and shoot. He can dribble. And I also think Paris Saint Germain, Luis Enrique would use Lamine Yamal extremely versatility way. Like Luis Enrique would probably try him in games maybe as a false 9, as a 10. So we would definitely see Lamine Yamal play under the best manager he's ever had and reach levels he's never reached before. He's also going to be playing with the best team in the world. Instead of only Pedri in the midfield, he's going to have Vitinha, Neves, Fabio Ruiz. He's going to be playing with the actual best player in the world in Ousmane Dembele. And all of this stuff is just going to improve Lamine Yamal's game and become even a better football player. I also think that Paris Saint Germain would restrict Lamine Yamal more than Barca. We had similar mistakes. When we had Mbappe, we gave Mbappe too much. We didn't, tell him to behave himself. And then, he thought he became bigger than the club. So I definitely think PSG would humble Yamal more than what Barca have done. But now let's take a look at, will this transfer happen? And the first thing you have to look at is from Lamine Yamal and Barcelona's standpoint. Lamine Yamal is a Barca player, which means they are in the strong negotiation. And even if you look at, he recently extended, so I think he has a contract until 2029, 2030 at FC Barcelona. So Barcelona feel extremely strong. Their economics is also improving, so they're not in a position where maybe this big of a huge amount of a bid for Yamal, we should accept it. Yamal will earn Barca even way more money than that just by having him on the pitch, and then marketability wise, Lamine Yamal is absolutely huge. So I don't even think Barca are looking that much at the money. As we saw in the previous report, Neymar is the biggest transfer in footballing history from Barca to PSG. But Neymar was a release clause. That's why it happened. Barca never wanted to sell Neymar. Neymar wanted to leave, but Barca never wanted to sell him, and they would have had full power. Lamine Yamal's release clause, I think, is like 1 billion or something. Like, ever since we got Neymar, the Barca and Madrid clubs have been so scared and, putting up the release clauses to 1 billion and so on. So from Barca's standpoint, I absolutely see zero reason in letting go of a La Masia talent, Lamine Yamal, 18 years of age, Spanish as well, best player in Spain and all of this. Why would they let go of Lamine Yamal? Second of all, let's take a look at Lamine Yamal. Would Lamine Yamal want to leave FC Barcelona? Honestly, when you see a lot of players coming out from the academy or youngsters being at a club, majority of them stay at the club. But if we're going to be fully honest, Lamine Yamal, looking at him and everything, I don't think he's a player that's fully gonna retire at Barca. But he's 18 years of age, so I don't see Lamine Yamal absolutely moving out from Barca at the moment. I think he first wants to win at least a Champions League there, maybe win a Ballon d'Or as a Barca player and accomplish stuff at Barca, because when you leave clubs like this before accomplishing stuff, it's because it's a small club. It's like Mbappe left Monaco so quickly. Why? Because he was never going to really achieve anything there. He wanted to go to a big platform. Lamine Yamal is already at a big platform. So the need of going to PSG isn't as much as if he was playing in Valencia or Real Sociedad. So I can see Lamine Yamal definitely Barca in the future. And honestly, the only two clubs I see him going to is Madrid and PSG. You have to understand, the big football players, the super talents, they don't care about the Premier League. And will never care about the Premier League. The Premier League has a lot of money and a lot of people watching it. But the top ballers, it's PSG, it's Madrid, it's Barca. These are the three sexy clubs. You can even try to put Bayern there. But those are the four sexy clubs. I don't see Yamal going to Bayern. They're never going to pay that amount as well for him as well. Could see him do a cheeky figo going to Real Madrid. I think a lot of Madrid fans would agree with that. And I could see him want to go to PSG. These are the two available clubs, Madrid and PSG. I don't think Madrid, that would completely ruin, Figo transfer happened a long time ago with no social media, with none of that. If Yamal went to Madrid, he would become #1 enemy in FC Barcelona in Catalonia. I don't think Lamine Yamal wants to do this. So I could see Yamal, if he leaves Barca in the future, it will be to PSG, just like the pathway all the previous Barca players have followed. Xavi Simons, Ousmane Dembele, Neymar Jr., Lionel Messi. I mean, if you're a Barca player, you dream of playing for Paris Saint Germain at this point. But I don't see Lamine Yamal wanting to leave Barca in any close time. Now, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. I don't see that. I do think, though, maybe Lamine Yamal will start playing games when he comes closer to the expiration of his contract, because then he will have more power, Barca will have less power, and if a club comes in for him, will have more power than they would have had now. So let's say in 2030, I could see at that point Lamine Yamal, questioning if he wants to stay at Barca, asking them for a really high wage, wanting to leave Barca and so on. But at the moment, I mean, all of this is just fake reports from Defense Central. Obviously, they're just saying that PSG are interested in Lamine Yamal, which, I mean, what club isn't interested in acquiring Lamine Yamal? But do I see this happen now? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Even if PSG sent a 230 million bid, I don't think Barca would accept it. I mean, it's a lot of money now, but as I said, we know from Messi when he was at Barca earned so much money through just having Messi. Sponsors, all of the deals that came through having Messi, was absolutely huge. So I see absolutely no reason for Barcelona to move on from Lamine Yamal. I don't see Lamine Yamal wanting to leave Barca at the moment. And from PSG's perspective, as I said, we're looking for that profile. I mean, what club wouldn't want to have Lamine Yamal with his ability and his marketability and everything? It would definitely be immediately the biggest transfer of all time, maybe second only behind Neymar. But I just don't see it happen. And then 230 million, we haven't, ever since we bought Neymar and Mbappe, we haven't spent that kind of money. We haven't spent more than 100 million euros since we bought them. Koromani was the closest. It was like 95 million. So we haven't really been close to that thingy. We have a lot of money. We could spend 230. Lamine Yamal would obviously want to have a crazy wage at PSG as well. I don't know. It's definitely a transfer I think everybody has in the back of their heads. I think a lot of Barca fans know at some point Yamal will leave Barca and it will be for Paris Saint Germain. But at the moment, on the 2037-10-08, the 8th of August, 8th of October 2025, I just don't see this transfer happening from Yamal's perspective, from Paris Saint Germain's perspective, and from FC Barcelona's perspective. So, but yeah, I mean, they've been talking about Yamal to PSG ever since he broke out of Barca. And, this is nothing new. They always link these players to PSG. I mean, if you go to this page, they linked as recent Caicedo to PSG. They've linked Marco Asensio to PSG, Hector Fort to PSG. Just a load of bumps. At least Yamal is a baller, but yeah, I get really irritated about all of these fake news and people tagging me. Well, is this true? Do you think PSG wants Yamal? And but as I said, to fully summarize it, I don't see Lamine Yamal leaving Barca in the close moment, at least the next 3 to 4 years. He definitely wants to accomplish stuff at FC Barcelona, he already has the number 10 as well. So it could be even more. Maybe even extends again. And then maybe when he is 25, 26, Just like Neymar 2016, 27, maybe that's when he leaves. So I put absolutely zero interest in all of this because I don't see it from Yamal's standpoint. I don't see it from Barca's standpoint. And honestly, Paris Saint Germain, we don't need to do this. You know, I think a club needing Yamal is a club that is lower ranked. And that's not something against Yamal. I'm just saying that we don't need Yamal. And honestly, we don't need any player. It could be Prime Messi. We don't need them because we have such a great team. We have such a great wage structure. We have all of that is really great. When we bought Neymar, we really needed Neymar. And that's how we lost Ibra the season before. We really needed Neymar. And obviously we bought Mbappe on top of it as well. But at this point in moment, Paris Saint Germain doesn't need to make a blockbuster signing. We don't have to spend 200 million euros. So, yeah, all of this is just fake stuff to hype up Yamal, that PSG wants him and everything. And, you know, they trolled PSG as the club that would just do any crazy thing. Obviously, PSG could do this, but I absolutely don't see Paris Saint Germain doing this. That's been it from boy PSG, and hopefully, guys, have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, Paris.